Imagine stumbling upon a hidden world right beneath your feet, a vast network of underground tunnels stretching for hundreds of miles, leading directly into the heart of Washington, D.C. and beyond. Now, picture a secret subterranean city equipped to sustain life indefinitely, shrouded in mystery and speculation. This isn't the plot of a sci-fi movie, it's a reality that an American trucker exposed, revealing a shadowy underworld that could change everything we thought we knew about government secrets and hidden agendas. Why does this underground realm exist, and what is its purpose? Join us as we peel back the layers of this enigmatic discovery, uncovering a story so shocking it could rewrite history as we know it. Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear will challenge your perception of reality and push the boundaries of belief. An American trucker verifies the existence of an extensive underground tunnel network stretching hundreds of miles, leading into Washington, D.C., along with a complete subterranean city. This revelation has triggered many to believe that the government must have been using this tunnel for a variety of reasons still unknown. The secret underground city saga began in 2013 when a video was uploaded to YouTube showing a trucker talking to a man about a massive underground secret city that was being built in the United States. They had traveled about 100 miles into the tunnel to reach the place where the video was taken, and apparently there were more tunnels. From the conversation, the trucker stated that one of the tunnels goes all the way to Washington, D.C., and the other goes all the way to Colorado. A more striking revelation about the said tunnel is the sustainable food and water supply enough to cater to human survival. This has led many to question the existence and use of such a tunnel, further bolstering the curiosity about why it is located underground. From the video, the trucker mentioned hauling tons of military equipment from the underground site to the mysterious Area 51, a place where reality and speculations collide in an enigma of tales, further pricking the curiosity of individuals. With Area 51 in the picture, we can't help but wonder if this is one of the alleged government alien collaborations. If this were to be the case, then that explains the secrecy and uniqueness attached to the hidden site. Another aspect shrouded in mystery about this tunnel is that the mechanics involved in moving and transporting materials through the tunnels. The labor involved and the wide range of technology that must have been adopted were all utilized successfully and undetected. Usually for a large-scale project such as this, it is not unusual for people to notice, but the government, or whatever force was involved pulling it off, discreetly and completed the whole project totally undetected. Now we have a secret underground tunnel said to be stocked with food, water, and everything needed for survival, allegedly used for hauling military equipment to highly classified government locations, and goes all the way to Washington, D.C., the United States, and Colorado. Putting all these facts together, it is safe to assume that there could be more to this hidden tunnel than we can imagine. Perhaps these locations are major landmarks for a potential hidden city. Could it have been used as a secret safe house instead? If yes, for whom? Mostly for top officials of the state, such as the president, vice president, a couple of other important political icons, and top military officials. Looking at it from this point of view, the confidentiality and constant food and water supply to the site makes sense. Interestingly, it is safe to assume that there could have been more of these tunnels elsewhere hidden in plain sight, being used for God knows what purposes. A man named Bob Lazar blew the whistle on the existence of Area 51. People were stunned at first because the existence of such a facility sounded impossible. But it was difficult to look away from the evidence provided. His testimony, together with the problems he faced afterwards, further pulled people to believe that the government was hiding something and that they were going out of their way to keep the secret. Ever since the release of the footage by the American trucker, people have reported certain hidden locations allegedly used by the government for a variety of purposes, ranging from protection of important political figures to secret research facilities, each one having its own story to tell. Buried deep within the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, 50 miles northwest of Washington, is a secret installation intended to take in the president, the justices of the Supreme Court, cabinet secretaries, and other high-ranking officials. Each has been assigned a rendezvous point in the capital where they are to be picked up and flown by helicopter to the remote mountain site. Inside Mount Weather is a self-contained community with its own clinic, reservoir fresh water, computer centers, communication post, dormitory, and cafeteria. The facility has been in existence for over a century, but the crash of a Trans World Airlines aircraft into the mountain brought unwanted publicity. Before the secret facility was made public, it was assumed to be the Soviet Union's high-priority target list. Mount Weather, operated by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, was also referred to as the secret facility, and despite publicity gotten from the aircraft crash, the government did not ease its security stand as regards to the existence of the underground location. Another underground mystery worthy of mentioning is Site R. Some 6 miles north of Camp David along the Maryland-Pennsylvania border is the underground home of both the Alternate Joint Communications Center and the Alternate National Military Command Center. Blasted into dense greenstone of Raven Rock Mountain from 1950 to 1974, it is a warren of underground buildings housing advanced communications equipment, computers, a reservoir, a dining hall, a chapel, and a clinic. Site R, as it is called, was meant to be both as a communications center and an alternate command post if Washington and the Pentagon were incinerated in a nuclear attack. Sometimes referred to as the underground Pentagon, Site R's construction remains shrouded in mystery, sparking a series of disquieting rumors. One of these rumors has it that beneath the adjacent farmland were hangars housing fighters to fend off enemy planes. Another rumor was that the weather above the site was controlled so neither heavy rains nor snow would interfere with the construction. At the end of the Second World War, Site R's secret began to come out in the open, and in recent months, the military has finally granted the press classified briefings on the facility, and there is even talk about the possibility of opening the doors of the sites to journalists and tourists from all over the world. Another secret facility that found its way back on the lips of curious individuals since the revelation of the mysterious underground tunnel is the North American Aerospace Defense Command Center, tucked inside Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The installation rests on top of towering coils intended to act as shock absorbers in the event of a nuclear blast. Cheyenne Mountain is now open to public tours, but with a 6-month advance application. Visitors pass through massive blast doors that can be hydraulically sealed within 45 seconds. Inside the mountain, 15 steel buildings sitting on a 4.5-acre site houses about 1,400 workers. The facility continues to scan the heavens above North America for incoming threats and stands ready to assist in coordinating the response to any attack. Although it is shielded by 1,700 granites and 30-ton doors, scientists presume that the underground facility would probably not survive the explosive power of precision-targeted modern nuclear devices. Another underground existence worth mentioning is the Seattle Underground Tunnels, developed after the whole city was engulfed by a fire. The blaze that ruined Seattle, Washington's Pioneer Square, began in the Claremont and Company cabinet shop beneath a paint shop at the Front and Madison Streets on June 6, 1889, around 2:20 to 2:30 p.m., when a glue pot was accidentally overturned. The incident caused wood chips in the shop to catch fire, which quickly spread across the turpentine that covered the floor. While attempts were made to put out the blaze before it got out of hand, these efforts proved fruitless. By the time firefighters arrived on the scene, the building was already covered in smoke. Given the amount of smoke, the fire department was unable to locate the blaze within the buildings, and before long, the inferno had spread throughout the neighborhood, engulfing more buildings as it went. Along with the flammable material that helped fuel it, the fire was also aided by a lack of water pressure in the firefighters' hoses and an alcohol establishment which exploded under the intense heat and flames. On top of that, the fire chief was out of town, leaving the volunteers with the local fire department to organize themselves. Following the Great Seattle Fire, city leaders gathered to discuss what the next steps could be, and they came to 2 unique decisions that ended up paving the way for the city's future. First, all new buildings would be built from stone or brick to prevent something like this ever happening again. Second, the affected streets would be raised 12 to 30 feet than their original grade. As the new street level began to be laid, both landlords and merchants knew that eventually the original ground floors of their properties would now be located underground. The majority wound up moving their businesses to the new ground floor, while some of those whose buildings had survived the devastating fire opted to continue working beneath the surface. Surprisingly, the original sidewalks were kept intact, meaning pedestrians could still navigate them through underground tunnels that were lit by vault lights. That being said, the majority chose to walk across the Pioneer Square through the newly built above-ground paths. However, in 1907, nearly 20 years after the Great Seattle Fire, the Seattle Underground was condemned by city officials because of the fear of the bubonic plague. With the Alaska-Yukon Pacific explosion set to take place in 1909, there were concerns over the deadly infection spreading and causing a pandemic. Therefore, many of the underground floors were evacuated and left to deteriorate, although some were used as forage. Despite the city condemning the Seattle Underground, a small area served as makeshift homes for the homeless, and some of the buildings were even turned into speakeasies, opium dens, and gambling establishments. This illegal activity continued into the 1905s, with the story of how Seattle Underground became a legend. Taking a closer look at the Truckers' Underground revelation, Mount Weather, Site R, and Cheyenne Mountain, they all have one thing in common: the government. With this, it is evident that the government might be involved in a number of things unknown to the general public. The trucker's underground tunnels are allegedly used to haul military equipment, and in addition to that, they have enough water and food to sustain a person, should you decide to stay under the radar within the tunnels. More interestingly, the tunnels go all the way to Washington, D.C., United States, and Colorado. Another interesting fact is that Mount Weather, Site R, and Cheyenne Mountain are situated in either of the locations the revealed tunnels lead to, which makes us wonder if there is a connection between these facilities. Perhaps there is more to these tunnels than we know about, and the government is only releasing limited information to the public. Let us not forget the footage was released in 2013, and since then, we have not heard anything from the trucker, even though he stated clearly that he would proceed further deep into the tunnels to uncover more findings. Could he have been silenced? If yes, by whom? I guess we'll never know. As we peel back the layers of Earth to reveal the secrets buried beneath, it is clear that the shadows of the unknown stretch far beyond the underground tunnels and hidden cities we've just uncovered. But what if I told you that the mysteries don't stop there? Imagine, for a moment, stepping into your bedroom, only to find you're opening a portal to another realm. Yes, you heard that right. Somewhere in an ordinary room, a gateway has been unlocked, leading to dimensions beyond our understanding. What lies on the other side? Is it a glimpse into a parallel universe, a crack in the fabric of our reality, or something far more inexplicable? The story doesn't end here. It only gets deeper, and the next chapter awaits your curious mind. Are you ready to dive into a tale so bewildering it challenges the very nature of our existence? The journey into the unknown continues, and you won't believe what happens next. Stay with us as we step through the portal and explore what lies beyond the boundaries of our world. The adventure is just beginning, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Click on the screen now to uncover the secrets of the man who opened a portal to another realm in his bedroom. The truth is only a click away.